Am I live? Come with me, and you'll be in a land of pure imagination. Of course, as soon as I start streaming, my cat starts yelling. Either that or just yelling because I was singing. Because cats are cats. I'm starting a little early to try to get ads out of the way. Unless I'm going to try to. Because if we get the ads out of the way, hopefully I won't have to worry about them interrupting story. Okay, so ads are running, I think. Should be. Not showing up yet. Okay. To see if my live post happened. That live post happened. That's good to know. Da, 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 da. Okay. Now the ads are going. And of course, they're full screen ads, which I really hate. To fix my hat. Nope, just that. Okay. Yeah. Almost fixed. Close enough. Oh, good. Ads are over. Good lord. Why am I getting stuff from Tell now? Addresses. There's addresses. So, if anyone wants to support me in any way other than just subbing or stuff, feel free to check out my ad or my link for my books. And give me a second, I am going to check to see what this tell is, because I have absolutely horrible timing to send me those. Who's the last person you took a selfie with? Yeah, guilty. I also know Fosabot's working today. Ugh. But tonight I'm going to be reading what was supposed to have been the last Sherlock Holmes story. Supposed to have been. But I'm going to answer one of the Telegram questions because they always seem to send one right when I'm starting my stream. I don't know if they do it on purpose or if it's an automated one. Okay. And did you see the artwork that they're doing for VKios that I'm part of? VKios. VKios. It is pretty cool. Definitely paints me a little bit more fierce than I actually am. But it is a pretty cool picture. Let me see if I can pull it up. I don't know why I'm trying to go there. I downloaded it. Okay. Let's see. I need image. Hope so I can spell chaos. Okay. Let me get this up here in a second. It's my VCAS. There's VCAS. Okay. Where the new picture? Never mind, there I am. Oh. Okay. Check this out. That is some pretty badass art. Oh, pretty fierce. I like the fact he gave me glasses, because I actually wear glasses. I just don't have them on the model. Guess I could put my glasses on my model. I have to find the right ones, but do I have glasses? I like the style of glasses he gave me. I don't have regular glasses. Oh, I don't have any regular glasses downloaded yet. But still. The V Chaos, I guess it's going to be technically a comic. Does look pretty damn cool. And I would get this link for him. Give him a follow on Twitter. I believe he actually has a Twitch stream too. I'm not sure. Pretty sure he does. No, he does Instagram. He doesn't have anything on. Honestly, give them some likes and follows because they do really cool art. And he gave me boots. That's just awesome. But this is, definitely before my, you know, modern times anyway. He put me back in my fairy tale days. This little snarl down in the bottom. Yeah. Yeah, really cool job. And really looking forward to see how everything turns out. But again, uh, bookstore link. I am kind of working on getting a affiliate with Barnes and Nobles too, so I can plug books everywhere I go, which would be cool because me and books. I think since got affiliate, I've probably spent at least $200 more on books, probably more. I know it's more. So if you feel like supporting my book buying habit, I have a coffee link of. I've got Barnes and Noble's gift cards on my throne. But honestly, I don't expect any you guys to do anything like that. I do appreciate anything you do, but I don't require it. In fact, I'm trying to figure out if there's a way that I can not do ads. But I'm still unemployed, despite my wonderful bookshop here. In fact, I'm going to see if I can start editing pictures of my own books into the shelves and everything else. But honestly, when I did the Christmas special, I had a stack of my Christmas books here on my counter. Just the fact I did a Christmas special should say a lot. But I'm going to be doing the opening here in the book stop instead of my just chatting screen. And yeah, so stuff is going on. Not as much as I would like, but things are progressing at least. I haven't tested my sound alerts yet. I'm kind of curious to see if they're working, even though they're not going to be in here. But well, it's not. Oh, torture ball. I hope there's not a torture ball in Pokemon. Let's see, that's. I don't know what a phalanx is. I don't know. I don't know why Sound Alerts is acting up again. Why can't things stay fixed? Yeah. whatever kind. Okay, I got the phone links. But let's see, it's 9:08. Let's go ahead and go over to study. Because it is almost time for me to start Sherlock Holmes. Because
Gross.
it
Boring
is
taste of coffee is leaving you dead inside.
the last story in the book.
There's Bones Coffee. Small batch, full-bodied coffee infused with the most mind-melting flavors in the world. Or underworld.
And
Oh, I've had
YouTube is playing an
coffee.
ad.
I've had coffee before. You haven't had
Yeah. I don't know why I'm sleepy. Well, I sleep pretty well because it's cold weather again. Because the weather's more consistent in fairy tales than it is in the state of Texas. I'll just say that. Oh, God, I hate it when my model twitches out when I'm taking a drink. Yep. Oh, wait. I moved the sound alert controls back to mine. That's might be why. Properties. Do not control through OBS. Okay, while it is still on, I haven't turned it off yet. I heard it on my end. Okay, well. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off sound alerts again. And blurb is off. Seeing as it is 9/11, I guess I should get in the book, right? And the final story and the adventures and memoirs of Sherlock Holmes is the final problem. It is with a heavy heart that I take up the pen to write these last words, in which I shall ever record the singular gift by my friend Sherlock Holmes was distinguished. In an incoherent and, as I feel deeply, an entirely inadequate fashion, I have endeavored to give some account of my strange experiences in his company from the chance which first brought us together in the period of a study of Scarlet, up to the time of his interference in the matter of the naval treaty, an interference which had the unquestionable effect of preventing a serious international complication. It was my intention to have stopped there, and to have said nothing of that event which has created a void in my life which the lapse of 2 years has done little to fill. My hand has been forced, however, by the recent letters in which Colonel James Moriarty defends the memory of his brother, and I have no choice but to lay the facts before the public exactly as they had occurred. I alone know the absolute truth of the matter, and I am satisfied that the time has come when no good purpose is to be served by its suppression. As far as I know, there have only been 3 accounts in the public press. That in the Journal of Geneva, on May 6th, 1891, the Reuters Dispatch of English papers on May 7th, and recently the recent letters to which I have alluded. Of these, the first and second were extremely condensed, while the last is, as I shall now show, an absolute perversion of the facts. It lies with me to tell for the first time what really took place between Professor Moriarty and Mr. Sherlock Holmes. It may be remembered that after my marriage and my subsequent start in private practice, the very intimate relations which had existed between Holmes and myself became, to some extent, modified. He still came to me from time to time when he desired a companion in his investigations, but these occasions grew more and more seldom, until I find that in the year 1890 there were only 3 cases of which I retain any record. During the winter of that year and the early spring of 1891, I saw in the papers that he had been engaged by the French government upon a matter of supreme importance, and I received 2 notes from Holmes, dated from Narbonne and from Nimes, from which I gathered that his stay in France was likely to be a long one. It was with some surprise, therefore, that I saw him walk into my counselling room upon the evening of April 24th. It struck me that he was looking even paler and thinner than before. "Yes, I have been using myself up rather too freely," he remarked, in answer to my look rather than to my words. "I have been a little pressed of late. Have you any objection to my closing your shutters?" The only light in the room came from a lamp upon the table at which I had been reading. Holmes edged his way around the wall, and flinging the shutters together, he bolted them securely. "Are you afraid of something?" I asked. "Well, I am." "Of what?" "Of air guns." "My dear Holmes, what do you mean?" "I think that you know me well enough, Watson, to understand that I am by no means a nervous man. At the same time, it is stupidity rather than courage to refuse to recognize danger when it is close upon you. Might I trouble you for a match?" He drew in a smoke of the cigarette, as if he was soothing an influence which grated to him. "I must apologize for calling so late," said he, "and I must further beg you to be so unconventional as to allow me to leave your house presently by scrambling over your back garden wall." "But what does it all mean?" I asked. He held out his hand, and I saw in the light of the lamp that 2 of his knuckles were burst and bleeding. "It's not an airy nothing, you see," said he, smiling. "On the contrary, it is solid enough for a man to break his hand over. Is Mrs. Watson in?" "She is away on a visit." "Indeed. You are alone?" "Quite." "Then it makes it easier for me to propose to you that you should come away with me for a week to the Continent." "Where?" "Oh, anywhere. It's all the same to me." There was something very strange in all this. It was not Holmes's nature to take an aimless holiday, and something about his pale, worn face told me that his nerves were in the highest tension. He saw the question in my eyes, and putting his fingertips together and his elbows upon his knees, he explained the situation. "You have probably never heard of Professor Moriarty," he said. "Never?" "Aye. He is a genius and the wonder of the thing," he cried. "The man pervades London, and no one has heard of him. That's what puts him on a pinnacle in the records of crime. I tell you, Watson, in all seriousness, that if I could beat that man, if I could freely society of him, I should feel that my own career had reached its summit, and I should be prepared to turn to some more placid line of life. Between ourselves, The recent cases in which I've been assistant in the royal family of Scandinavia and to the French government have left me over 40 mysteries, and the rope of all of them. But if we move at all prematurely, you understand, they may slip out of our hands, even at this moment. Now, if I could have done all this without the knowledge of Professor Moriarty, all would have been well. But he was too wily for that. He saw every step which I took to draw my toils around him. Again and again he drove to break away, but I often headed him off. I tell you, my friend, that if his detailed account of his silent contest could be written, it would take the place of the most brilliant bit of thrust and parry work in the history of detection. Never have I risen to such a height, and never have I been so hard pressed by an opponent. He cut deep, and yet I undercut him. This morning the last steps were taken, and 3 days only were wanted to complete the business. I was sitting in my room thinking the matter over when the door opened and Professor Moriarty stood before me. My nerves are fairly proof, Watson, but I must confess to a start when I saw the very man who had been so much in my thoughts standing there on my threshold. His appearance was quite familiar to me. He is extremely tall and thin. His forehead domes out in a white curve, and his 2 eyes are deeply sunken into his head. He is clean-shaven, pale, and ascetic-looking, retaining something of the professor in his features. His shoulders are rounded from much study, and his face protrudes forward, and is forever slowly oscillating from side to side in a curious, reptilian fashion. He peered at me with great curiosity in his puckered eyes. "You have less frontal development than I should have expected," he said at last. "It is a dangerous habit to finger loaded firearms in the pocket of one's dressing gown." The fact is, upon his entrance I had instantly recognized the extreme personal danger in which I lay. The only conceivable escape for him lay in silencing my tongue. In an instant I had slipped my revolver from the drawer into my pocket and was covering him through the cloth. At his remark I drew the weapon out and laid it cocked upon the table. He still smiled and blinked, but there was something about his eyes which made me feel very glad that I had done it there. "You evidently don't know me," said he. "On the contrary," I answered, "I think it is very evident that I do. Pray, take a chair. Can you spare 5 minutes if you have anything to say?" "All that I have to say has already crossed your minds," said he. "Then possibly my answer has crossed yours," I replied. "You stand fast?" "Absolutely." He clapped his hands into his pocket, and I raised the pistol from the table, and he merely drew out a memorandum book in which he had scribbled some dates. "You crossed my path on the 4th of January," said he. "On the 23rd, you incommoded me. By the middle of February, I was seriously inconvenienced by you. At the end of March 1st, I was absolutely hampered by my plans. And now, at the close of April, I find myself placed in such a position through your continual persecution that I am in positive danger of losing my liberty. The situation is becoming an impossible one now." "Have you any suggestion to make?" I asked. "You must drop it, Mr. Holmes," said he, swaying his face about. "You really must, you know." "After Monday," said I. "Tut, tut," said he. "I am quite sure that a man of your intelligence will see that there can be but one outcome to this affair. It is necessary that you should withdraw. You have worked things in such a fashion that we have only one resource left. It has been an intellectual feat to me to see the way in which you have grappled with this affair, and I say, unaffectedly, that it would be a grief to me to be forced to take any extreme measure. You smile, sir, but I assure you that it would really be." "Danger is part of my trade," I remarked. "This is not danger," said he. It is inevitable destruction. You stand in the way not merely of an individual, but of a mighty organization. But full extent of which you, with all your cleverness, have been unable to realize. You must stand clear, Mr. Holmes, or be trodden underfoot. I'm afraid, said I, rising, that the pressure of this conversation I am neglecting business of importance which awaits me elsewhere. He rose also, and looked at me in silence, shaking his head sadly. Well, well, he said at last, it seems a pity, but I have done what I could. I know every move of your game. You can do nothing before Monday. It has been a duel between you and me, Mr. Holmes. You hope to place me in the dock. I tell you that I will never stand in the dock. You hope to beat me. I tell you that you will never beat me. If you are clever enough to bring destruction upon me, rest assured that I shall do as much to you. You have paid me several compliments, Mr. Moriarty, said I. Let me pay you one in return when I said that I was assured of the former eventuality. I would, in the interest of the public, cheerfully accept the later. I can promise you the one, but not the other. He snarled, and so turned his rounded back upon me and went peering and blinking out of the room. It was a singular interview with Professor Moriarty. I confess that it left an unpleasant effect upon my mind. His soft, precise fashion of speech leaves me conviction of sincerity, which a mere bully could not produce. Of course, you will say, why not take police precautions against him? The reason is that I am well convinced that it is the form of his agents the blow would fall. I have the best of proofs that it would be so. You have already been assaulted? My dear Watson, Professor Moriarty is not a man who lets grass grow under his feet. I went out to midday to transact some business in Oxford Street. As I passed the corner which leads to Betneck Street and to Welbeck Street, crossing a two-horse van furiously driven whizzed around and was on me in a flash. I sprang on the footpath and saved myself by a fraction of a second. The van dashed around the Marylhone Lane and was gone in an instant. I kept to the pavement after that, Watson, but as I walked down Vere Street, a brick came down from a roof of one of the houses and was shattered into fragments at my feet. I called the police and had the place examined. There were slates and bricks piled up on the roof preparatory to some repairs, and they would have believed me, but the wind had toppled over one of these. Of course, I knew better, but I could prove nothing. I took a cab after that and reached my brother's rooms at Pall Mall, where I spent the day. Now I have come round to you, and on my way I was attacked by a rough with a bludgeon. I knocked him down, and the police have him in custody. But I can tell you with the most absolute confidence that no possible connection will ever be traced between the gentleman upon whose front teeth I have barked with my knuckles and the retiring mathematical coach who is, I dare say, working out problems upon the blackboard 10 miles away. Thank you. You will not wonder, Watson, that my first act on entering your rooms was to close the shutters, and that I have been compelled to ask your permission to leave the house by some less conspicuous means than the front door. I'd often admired my friend's courage, but never more than now. As he sat quietly checking off a series of incidents which must have combined to make up a day of horror. You will spend the night here, I said. Now, my friend, you might find me a dangerous guest. I have plans laid, and all will be well. Matters have gone so far now that they can move without my help, as far as the arrest goes, though my presence is necessary for conviction. It is obvious, therefore, that I cannot do better than get away for a few days which remain before the police are at liberty to act. It would be a great pleasure to me, therefore, if you would come with me to the continent. Practice is quiet, said I, and I have an accommodating neighbor. I should be glad to come. And to start tomorrow morning? If necessary. Oh, yes, it is most necessary. Then these are your instructions, and I beg, dear Watson, that you will obey them to the letter, for you are now playing a double-handed game with me against the cleverest rogue and the most powerful syndicate of criminals in Europe. Now listen, you will dispatch whatever luggage you intend to take to a trusty messenger unaddressed to Victoria tonight. In the morning you will send for a hansom, desiring your man to take neither the first nor the second which may present itself. Into this hansom you will jump, and you will drive to the Strand end of the lower arcade, handing the address to the cabman upon the slip of paper, with a request that he will not throw it away. Have your four ready, and the instant that your cab stops, dash to the arcade, timing yourself to reach the other side in a 9:15. You will find a small brougham waiting close to the curb, driven by a fellow with a heavy black coat tipped with a collar of red. Into this you will step, and you will reach Victoria in time for the Continental Express. Where shall I meet you? At the station. The second first-class carriage from the front will be reserved for us. The carriage is a rendezvous, then? Yes. It was in vain that I asked Holmes to remain that evening. It was evident to me that he thought he might bring trouble to the roof he was under, and that was the motive which impelled him to go. With a few hundred words as to our plans on the morrow, he rose and came out with me to the garden, clambering over the wall which leads to Mortimer Street, and immediately whistled for a hansom, in which I heard him drive away. In the morning I obeyed Holmes's instructions to the letter. A hansom was procured with the precautions that would prevent it from being one that was readily placed as this, and I drove immediately after breakfast to the lower arcade, which I hurried to the top of speed. A brougham was waiting, with a very massive driver wrapped in a dark cloak, who, the instant that I stepped in, whipped up her horse and rattled off to Victoria Station. On my alighting there, he turned the carriage and dashed away again without so much as a look in my direction. So far all had gone admirably. My luggage was waiting for me, and I had no difficulty in finding the carriage which Holmes had indicated. The less so was that there was the only one on the train that was marked engaged. My only source of anxiety now was the non-appearance of Holmes. The station clock marked only 7 minutes from the time in which we were to start. In vain I searched among the groups of travellers and leave-takers for the lithe figure of my friend. There was no sign of him. I spent a few minutes assisting a venerable Italian priest who was endeavoring to make a poorly understand, and in broken English, that his luggage was to be looked through to Paris. Then, having taken another look around, I returned to my carriage, where I found that the porter, in spite of the ticket, had given me my intrepid Italian friend as a travelling companion. It was useless for me to explain to him that his presence was an intrusion, for my Italian was even more limited than his English, so I shrugged my shoulders resignedly and continued to look out for my anxious friend. A chill of fear came over me, as I thought in his absence that might mean that some blow had fallen him during the night. Already the doors had been shut, and the whistle was blown. Then, "My dear Watson," said a voice, "you have not even condescended to say good morning." I turned in uncontrollable astonishment, and the aged ecclesiastic had turned his face towards me. For an instant the wrinkles were smoothed away, and the nose drew away from the chin, the lower lip ceased to protrude, and the mouth was to mumble. His dull eyes regained their fire, the drooping figure expanded, and the next the whole frame collapsed again, and Holmes had gone as quickly as he had come. "Good heavens!" I cried. "How you startled me!" "Every precaution was necessary," he whispered. "I have reason to think that they are hot upon our trail. Ah, there is Moriarty himself." The train had already begun to move as Holmes spoke. Glancing back, I saw a tall man pushing his way furiously through the crowd and waving his hand as if he desired to have the train stopped. It was too late, however, for we were rapidly gathering momentum, and an instant later had shot from the station. With all our precautions, you see that we have cut it rather fine, said Holmes, laughing. He rose, and throwing off the black cassock and hat which he had formed as disguise, he packed them away in a handbag. Have you seen the morning paper, Watson? No. You haven't been about Baker Street, then? Baker Street? They set fire to our rooms last night, and great harm was done. Good heaven, Holmes, this is intolerable. They must have lost track completely after the bludgeon man was arrested. Otherwise, I could not have imagined that I would return to our home. They have evidently taken the precaution of watching you, however, and that was what brought Moriarty to Victoria. You could not have made any slip on coming. I did exactly as you advised. Did you find your brougham? Yes, it was waiting. Did you recognize your coachman? No. It was my brother Mycroft. It was an advantage to get about in the case without taking a mercenary into our confidence. But we must plan what we are to do about Moriarty now. As this is an express, and as the boat runs in connection with it, I should think we have shaken him off very effectively. My dear Watson, you evidently did not realize my meaning when I said that this man may be taken as being quite on the same intellectual plane as myself. You do not imagine that if I were the pursuer, I should allow myself to be baffled by so slight an obstacle. Why, then, should you think so meanly of him? What will we do? What I should do. What would you do, then? Engage a special. But it must be late. By no means. This train stops in Canterbury, and there is always at least a quarter of an hour's delay at the boat. He will catch us there. One would think that we were criminals. Let us have him arrested on his arrival. It would be to ruin the work of 3 months. We should get the big fish, but a smaller would dart right out and left out of the nets. On Monday we should have them all. No, an arrest is admissible. What then? We shall get out to Canterbury. And then? Well, then we must make a cross-country journey to New Haven, and so over to the Dieppe. Moriarty will again do what I should do. He will get on to Paris, mark down our luggage, and wait for 2 days at the depot. In the meantime, we shall treat ourselves to a couple of carpet-bags, encourage the manufacturers of the countries through which we travel, and make our way over to leisure to Switzerland via Luxembourg and Bath. At Canterbury, therefore, we alighted, only to find that we should have waited an hour before we could get the train to New Haven. I was still looking rather ruefully at the rapidity of appearing luggage van which contained my wardrobe, when Holmes pulled my sleeve and pointed up the line. Already, you see, said he. Far away from among the Kish woods there rose a thin spray of smoke. A minute later, a carriage and engine could be seen flying along the open curve which leads to the station. We had hardly time to take our place behind a pile of luggage when it passed, with a rattle and a roar, beating a blast of hot air into our faces. There he goes, said Holmes, as we were watching the carriage swing and rock over the points. There are limits, you see, to our friend's intelligence. It would have been a coup de maître had he deduced that I would deduce and acted accordingly. And what would have to be done if he had overtaken us? There cannot be the least doubt that he would have had a murderous attack on me. It is, however, a game at which two may play. The question now is whether we should take the premature lunch here, or run our chance of starving before we reach the buffet in New Haven. We made our way into Brussels that night and spent 2 days there, moving on the third day as far as Strasbourg. On the Monday morning, Holmes had telegraphed to the London police, and in the evening we found the reply waiting for us at our hotel. Holmes tore it open, and then with a bitter curse hurled it into the grate. I might have known it. He groaned. He has escaped. Moriarty? They've secured the whole gang with the exception of him. He has given them the slip, of course. When I left the country, there was no one to cope with him. But I did think that I had put the game into their hands. I think that you had better return to England, Watson. Why? Because you will find me a dangerous companion now. This man's occupation is gone. He is lost if he returns to London. If I read his character right, he will devote his whole energies into revenging himself upon me. He said as much in our short interview, and I fancy he meant it. I should certainly recommend you to return to your practice. It was only an appeal to be successful with one who was an old campaigner as well as an old friend. We sat in the Strasbourg Salle Manière, arguing the question for half an hour. But the same night we had resumed our journey, and were well on our way to Geneva. For a charming week we wandered up the valley of the Rhone, and then, branching off at Luc, we made our way over to the Gemini Pass, still deep in snow, and so by way of Interlaken to Miergenen. It was a lovely trip for the dainty green of spring below, the virgin white of the winter above. But it was clear to me that never for one instant did Holmes forget the shadow which lay across him. In the homely alpine villages or in the lonely mountain passes, I could still tell by his quick glancing eyes and his sharp scrutiny of every face that pressed us, that he was still convinced that where we could not walk ourselves out of danger which dodging our footsteps. Once I remember, as we passed over the Gemmi, and walked among the border of the melancholy Dabanus, a large rock which had been dislodged from the ridge upon our right clattered down and roared into the lake behind us. In an instant Holmes had raced up to the ridge, and, standing upon a lofty pinnacle, craned his neck in every direction. It was in vain that our guide assured him that the fall of stones was a common chance in the springtime in that spot. But said nothing. He just smiled at me with an air of a man who sees the fulfillment of which that he expected. And yet, for all his watchfulness, he was never depressed. On the contrary, I can never recollect seeing him in such exuberant spirits. Again and again he recurred to the fact that if he could be assured that society was free to Professor Moriarty, he would cheerfully bring his own career to a conclusion. I think that I may go so far as to say, Watson, that I have not lived wholly in vain, he remarked. If my record were closed tonight, I could still survey it with economy. The air of London is a sweeter for my presence. In over 1,000 cases, I am not aware that I have ever used my powers upon the wrong side. Of late, I have been tempted to look into the problems furnished by nature rather than those more superficial ones but from which our artificial state of society is responsible. Your memoirs will draw to an end, Watson, upon the day that I crown my career with the capture or extinction of the most dangerous and capable criminal in Europe. I shall be brief and yet exact, in which little remains for me to tell. It is not a subject on which I should willingly dwell, and yet I am conscious that my duty devolves upon me to omit no detail. It was on the 3rd of May that we reached the little village of Meiringen, where we put up at the Oslanker Hof, and then kept as Peter Stellen the elder. Our landlord was an intelligent man and spoke excellent English, having served for 3 years as a waiter in the Grosvenor Hotel in London. At his advice, on the afternoon of the 4th we set off together, with the intention of crossing the hills and spending the night in the hamlet of Rosenlau. We had strict injunctions, however, on no account to pass the falls of Reichenbach, which are about halfway up the hills, without making a small detour to see them. It is indeed a fearful place. The torrent, swollen by the melting snow, plunges into a tremendous abyss, from the spray of which rolls up like smoke from a burning house. The shaft into which the river hurls itself is an immense chasm, lined by glistening coal-black rock, and narrowing into a creaming, boiling pit of incalculable death, which brims over and shoots the steam onward over its jagged lip. The long sweep of green water roaring down forever, and the thick, flickering curtains of spray hissing forever upward, turned a man giddy with their constant whirl and clamor. We stood near the edge, peering down at the gleam of the breaking water far below us against the black rocks, and listening to the half-human shout which came booing with the spray about the abyss. The path was cut halfway round, and followed to afford a complete view, but it ends abruptly, and the traveler has returned as he came. We had turned to do so when we saw a Swiss lad coming along with a letter in his hand. It bore the mark of the hotel which we had just left, and was addressed to me by the landlord. It appeared that within a very few minutes of our leaving, an English lady had arrived who was in the last stage of consumption. She had wintered in Davos Platz, and was journeying now to join her friends in Lucerne, when a sudden hemorrhage had overtaken her. It was thought that she could hardly live a few hours, but it would be a great consultation to her to see an English doctor, and if I would only return, etc., etc. The good Styler assured me that a postscript that he would himself look upon my compliance as a great favour, since the lady absolutely refused to see a Swiss physician, and he could not but feel that he was incurring a great responsibility. The appeal was one which could not be ignored. It was impossible to refuse the request of a fellow countrywoman dying in a strange land. Yet I had my scruples about leaving Holmes. It was finally agreed, however, that he should retain the young Swiss messenger with him as a guide and companion while I returned to Merlingen. My friend would stay a little time at the fall, he said, and would then walk slowly over the hill to Roslau, where I was to rejoin him in the evening. As I returned away, I saw Holmes, and his back stood against the rock with his arms folded, gazing down at the rush of the waters. It was the last that I had ever destined to see him in this world. When I was near the bottom of the descent, I looked back. It was impossible from that position to see the fall, but I could see the curving path which winds over the shoulder of the hills leading to it. Along this a man was, I remember, walking very rapidly. I could see his black figure clearly outlined against the green behind him. I noted him and the energy in which he walked, but he passed from my mind again as I hurried upon my errand. It may have been a little over an hour before I reached Meringen. Lord Styler was standing in the porch of his hotel. "Well," said I, as I came hurrying up, "I trust that she is not worse?" A look of surprise passed over his face, and at first a quiver of his eyebrows. My heart turned to lead in my breast. "You did not write this," I said, pulling the letter from my pocket. "There is no sick Englishwoman in the hotel." "Certainly not," he cried, "but it has a hotel mark upon it. Ha! It must have been written by that tall Englishman who came in and out after you had gone. He said—" But I waited for none of the landlord's explanation. In a tingle of fear, I was already running down the village street and masking for the path in which I had safely descended. It had taken me an hour to come down. For all my efforts, 2 more had passed before I found myself at the fall of Reichenbach once more. There was Holmes's Alpine stock still leaning against the rock by which I had left him. But there was no sign of him, and it was in vain that I shouted. My only answer was my own voice reverberating in the rolling echo of the cliffs around me. It was the sight of the Alpine stock which turned me cold and sick. He had not gone to Rosenau, then. He had remained on that 3-foot path, with sheer wall on one side and sheer drop on the other, until his enemy had overtaken him. The young Swiss lad was gone, too. He had probably been in the pay of Moriarty, and had left the 2 men together. And then what had happened? Who was to tell what had happened? I stood for a minute or two to collect myself, for I was dazed with the horror of the thing. Then I began to think of Holmes's own methods, and tried to practice them regarding this tragedy. It was, alas, only too easy to do. During our conversation, he had not gone to the end of the path, The alpenstock marked the place where we had stood. The brackish soil was kept forever soft by the incessant drift of spray, and a bird would leave its tread upon it. 2 lines of footmarks were clearly marked along the farther end of the path, both leading away from me. There were none returning. A few yards from the end of the soil was all plowed up into a patch of mud, and the brambles and ferns which fringed from the chasm were torn and bedraggled. I lay upon my face and peered over the spray spouting up around me. It had darkened since I left, and now I could only see here and there the glistening of moisture upon the black walls, and far away down in the end of the shaft of the gleaming broken water. I shouted, but only had the same half-human cry from the fall was borne back in my ears. But it was destined that I should, after all, have the last word of greeting from my friend and comrade. I have said that his alpenstock had been left in the path, leaning against the rock which jutted onto the path. From the top of this boulder, the gleam of something bright caught my eyes, and raising my hand, I found that it came from a silver cigarette case which he used to carry. As I took it up, a small square of paper upon it lay fluted round on the ground. Unfolding it, I found that it consisted of 3 pages torn from his notebook and addressed to me. It was characteristic of the man that the direction was precise, and the writing was firm and clear, as though it had been written in his study. My dear Watson, it said, I write these few lines through the courtesy of Mr. Moriarty, who awaits my conveyance to the final discussion of those questions which lie between us. He has been giving me a sketch of the methods by which he avoided the English police, and kept himself informed of my movements. They certainly confirm the very high opinion which I had formed of his abilities. I am pleased to think that I shall be able to free society from further effects of his presence, though I fear that it is at the cost of which will pain my friends, especially, my dear Watson, to you. I have already explained to you, however, that my career had in any case reached its crisis, and that no possible conclusion to it could be more congenial to me than this. Indeed, if I may make a full confession to you, I was quite convinced that the letter from Margin was a hoax, and I allowed you to part on that errand under the persuasion that some development of this sort should follow. Tell Inspector Patterson that the papers which he needs to convict the gang are in the Pigeonhole M, done up in blue envelope and inscribed Moriarty. I made every deposition of my property before leaving England, and handed it to my brother Mycroft. Pray give my greetings to Mrs. Watson, and believe me to be, my dear fellow, yours sincerely, Sherlock Holmes. A few words will suffice to tell that little remains. An examination by experts leaves little doubt the personal contest between the 2 men ended, as it could hardly fail to end in such a situation. At their reeling over, locking in each other's arms, any attempt at recovering the bodies was absolutely hopeless, and there, deep down in the dreadful cauldron of swirling water and seething foam, will lie for all time the most dangerous criminal and the foremost champion of the law of their generation. The Swiss youth was never found again, and there can be no doubt that he was one of the numerous agents whom Moriarty kept in his employ. As for the gang, it will be within the memory of the public how completely the evidence which Holmes had accumulated exposed their organization, and how heavily the hand of the dead man weighed upon them. Of their terrible chief, few details come out during the proceedings, and if I have now compelled to make clear statement of his career, it is due to those champions who have endeavored to clear his memory by attacks upon him, whom I shall ever regard as the best and the wisest man whom I have ever known. Well, well. And that was the end of Sherlock Holmes. Or was it? I will continue reading Sherlock Holmes for some while. Because through my book link, I ordered some books. So this is the end of this book. I'm probably going to pull out the Study in Scarlet, because I do have it now, and I will probably read that. I will have this one in my playlist, and as I continue to add more Sherlock Holmes stories, I will add them to the playlist as well. If anyone has noticed my playlist, I did change the title of it from just being this book to being just Sherlock Holmes. So when I post the videos on YouTube, I will have the stories hopefully in order, give or take. And I will try to get them all in there. But also, I'm going to take a quick break. Quickish anyway, so please hang around. I don't have any music yet for my Be Right Back screen. I really need to get music eventually, but still. I'm going to go ahead and get stuff up here. Hold on. I didn't bother putting any things on my Be Right Back screen. I just didn't think about it, honestly. Okay, that should be over. Anyway, I'll be back in a bit. Oops. I pressed when the microphone was muted. Guess not. Okay. Okay, I don't see. Oh, no. Hold on. Oh, damn, that's loud. Okay. I don't hear the game. Hey, Guilty, if you're there, can you hear the game? Oh, come on, doing. No, let me play with my controller. Because there's no guarantee my computer will be able to handle this, honestly. Hey, Pup Penguin.
The
Thanks for the
Edelweiss
sub.
staff will doubtless be eager to show off their facilities to a fellow physician. I have already taken the liberty of sending a letter on your behalf to request a visit. And what of you? I shall be pursuing other avenues. Should you see anything troublesome or improper, simply notify the local authorities. Otherwise, try a little analysis yourself. You know my methods. Apply them.
Before you alert too much, can you hear the game? How loud is it? Because it's really loud to me. Okay. Let's turn my volume down because it's kind of blasting me. I was hoping I could play this with my controller, but it does not look like it's going to let me. Dang it. I'm going to have to do keyboard and mouse, which I'm horrible with. Oh, look, it's Dr. John Watson. Go. I have to tab off of this so I can fix things. Okay, I'm going to have to switch to my Tech instead. Because I'm not going to be able to keep up with face capture on this. Which means I need to open my Discord. Oh. Okay, let me get this switched over. The only downside about doing this, I have to adjust settings so I can do things properly. Okay, well, now, okay. Turn off YouTube Studio and just do it this way. Hi. That should work a little bit better. And now I'm PNG streaming. Thank you for the stretch and hydrate, Guilty. But now I can actually move closer enough to worry about messing up my camera shot. So, there. Huh. Oh. But this is a demo for a game that officially comes out next week. That is a Sherlock Holmes game. Which I guess I really need to change the title. Change the stream. Ow. Watson's just standing there talking to himself. Not story time anymore. So Sherlock Holmes, The Awakened demo. Okay. Because the official game doesn't come out until the 11th. Okay, let's see how badly I play this. So, WASD, look around, okay. And let's, over here.
Salutations, madam. I am
Dr. John Watson?
I was wondering if you've got word of my visit.
Yeah, Dr. Watson. We received your letter on the matter. Would it be to see Professor Gygax?
Hold up, Professor Gygax? uh, yes, this is correct.
At their earliest convenience, yes. I shall try not to take up too much of their valuable
Like,
time.
Gary Gygax, the guy who came out with Dungeons and Dragons? Everyone should know that name?
Watson, your girl has made remarkable progress. See? Take a look for yourself.
My apologies for keeping you waiting, Dr. Watson.
Oh, God, her
I
eyes.
understand how medical work can make one lose track of time.
Do not be sorry, Professor. I too know the importance of closely attending to patients.
The work hardly stops here, yet the satisfaction of perfecting the mind compels us to persevere.
I take it you welcome many a soul into your establishment?
Admissions, yes. Visitors, though? I am curious as to what brought you to the Schwarzes Edelweiss.
Word of mouth. An article I read back in London spoke highly of your institution. But
Man, my
rather than
audio
take
is delayed on
your
this.
word for it, I thought I would see things for myself.
My asylum's reputation precedes it, then.
Everyone, your attention, please. Guten day. Yes, hi. Hello. The name's Amos Colby, Northwood Detective Agency, Boston. I got questions that need answers.
Bostonian.
Who's in charge here?
What seems to be the matter, Dr. Watson? You can tell me.
By Jove, it cannot be him. That man, well, the real Amos Colby lies 6 feet under in London.
No. In my line of work, it can't wait. The longer it takes
If
me to
you
get
wish
to
to
the
recuperate,
truth, the
Dr.
more lives
Watson,
are
you may
placed in
avail
harm's
yourself of
way.
the guest room.
But I have so much more to discuss.
Nurse, if you'd be so kind as to escort Dr. Watson to the guest room. Herr Colby, from Northwood Agency? How unexpected. I am Professor Gygax. I would be happy to answer your questions in the examination room.
Look, Professor, unless you got any clues as to the whereabouts of...
There is no need to be alarmed.
Sure there
No
is.
one gets neglected in my care.
Okay, well, creepy already.
Now, let's not resort to brute force.
Do not worry, Herr Colby. My methods are rather more delicate.
Okay, this is already creepy. Okay, do not inject glowing blue liquid into people. I do not suggest.
Search him thoroughly. Then
The hell? Game froze? Oh, hello. Wait a minute.
The unmistakable scent of alcoholism. Did you walk through their doors as I did, or did they collect you off the streets?
Okay.
The unmistakable scent of alcoholism. Did you walk through their doors as I did?
Do I have
or did
bread?
they collect you off the streets?
Okay, can't do anything there. Seems to be chains on the ground. Nice. Oh crap! I got a pick a lock. Q outside lock. What? Okay. That's gonna be. Oop. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay, there just needs to be one up. I think. Okay, the second one needs to be a lot higher. Okay. And next one needs to be higher and one just a little. Okay. Oh. Close. But no cigar. Man, there's a lock picking thing on this. Okay. You up one. And you up one more. And going. And enter. Okay, well. Yeah. Okay. Why is there a warrant?
Not the typical tool for a nurse.
No, I'd hope not.
A truncheon, not the typical tool for a nurse.
Cannot pick it up? Guess not. Hold left shift to run. That does not bode well. Oh, crap.
You there! I command you to free me at once.
I'm not sure that's a great idea at the moment.
How dare you deny me? I must have my revenge against the lickspittles upstairs.
Unfortunately,
Lickspittles?
I'm here to stop the very same people.
You are?
Indeed. But first, I must discover all I can about this institution. Tell me, have you witnessed the arrival of any foreign patients?
Tell me. The goal. The impertinence to bark such orders.
Please, we don't have time for this.
Do you know with whom you speak?
No, I don't.
I am the great Napoleon.
Nut job.
Huh. Napoleon Bonaparte?
The one and only. Emperor of the French, first consul of the Republic, leader of La Grande Armée. Once I am free and have exacted my revenge against the guards who ridicule me, I shall rest happy in the arms of my beloved Josephine.
Right.
Nut job.
Well, I will leave you to your scheming, Emperor.
Okay, patient needs guards. Okay, well. Who are you? Richard? Okay. There's a rat. Hans Winkler. Okay. Oh, look, science lab. Okay, anyone else in here? There's rats. Okay. This is where I was? No, different room. Oh, this was where I was. Okay. So, sunset. Examination room. Unfortunately, no sprechen Sie Deutsch. Oh, wow. Let's see. Let me check out the chemistry set. What the heck? Okay, let's check this out. Inspect. Okay, not letting me hold and inspect anything. Nice battery.
Any chemist would envy the quality of this equipment.
I do kind of envy the equipment.
The final product, ready to cure madness, or to push one deeper into its grasp.
Sounds like fun. Oh, something else I'm supposed to see? Okay, I can't look away from the table, so something else here. Oh, what else am I looking at? Wait. Oh, okay, I can move around the table.
Raw materials used to formulate medicine. With this equipment, they can create any type of medication.
No shit, Sherlock. Sorry. Couldn't resist. Really? Huh. My syringes? Yeah, put them back. Okay, let's over here. Let's see, patient, LOSK. Dermatillomania. Oh, well, yeah. She likes to rip her own skin off. Marzio, mania, dissociation. He thinks he's insane. Mention Josephine to make him more manageable. Yeah, that would work on him. Go down. Why aren't you scrolling? Demo, you're hurting me here. Oh, really? Let's use the scroll button. Patient, Mariana W. Hysteria. Keep raising the dosage until she forgets the child. Yikes. And Gina, what? Nose? Oh, yeah. Nurse breakdown. Do not allow any visits. All letters must be destroyed. Alright then. Okay, nothing else in this room, it appears. What is in this one over here?
What was that? Is someone there?
What? Okay. Okay, let's... Okay, no. Keep kicking the bucket. Okay. Wait.
My heart is pierced by Cupid. I disdain all glittering gold. There is nothing can console me but my jolly sailor bold.
Oh, hello. Got a mermaid? Is she? Storage room. Interesting. Maybe I should go there. Oh, damn, another lock. Okay. 5 pin. So I need it to be 1, 3, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so close. So I need one more on second, on the third and fourth. Oh, damn. One more. Going. Nice. Press Z to highlight. Active. Oh. Wait. Did it ping? Okay. Nice. Anyone in here?
A simple toolbox, yet capable of repairing anything.
Okay. Hammer.
A certificate of appreciation from the municipal councillor to Professor Becker for contributions to the development of medicine in Interlaken.
Okay. Anything else in here? Oh. I can look at the chair.
Speech and the Cerebellum by S.A. Becker.
Oh, nice.
Painting in a mental institution. Vogel would be delighted.
Painting of a candle on a boat. Yeah.
John Sallow, the Tulpa phenomenon. I'm somewhat of an expert already.
Tulpa?
R.G. Hill, Dr. Connolly. It appears that all the psychiatric classics were banished here.
Nothing wrong with classics. Okay, what's here? Nothing. Oh, wow. Just the Gygax name gets me. I've suffered serious chemical burns by my hands. Director of Black Edelweiss. 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 It started to let me see the torn up letter. What else is here? Thing? Ooh. What am I looking at?
Of varying diameters. Interesting.
Okay. Anything else? Oh, hello. Nope. Hello. What's this?
I can make out the names listed here.
You can, I
Make
can't.
out the names listed here.
What does it say?
I can make out the names listed here.
Glad he can, because I can't read it. I can't read the names.
This photo was damaged, seemingly by oil.
Okay.
Cooking grease. Is this the kitchen dumbwaiter?
I'll explain why the picture was damaged by oil. Anything else in here? No. Must be some... Oh, there we go. I'll get a handle on this sometime.
Looks like it's still operational.
Okay. Alright, so... Anything else in here? Anything? Nothing? Okay. Now... Do I talk to the lunatic? What is she taking? Why can I not talk to her?
I command you to let me out.
Okay, so... Alright. We'll get used to having to use keyboard. Can't get out this way.
I'm sure I heard something. Who's there? Show yourself.
Can I?
Hey, what are you doing?
Okay, so I guess that wasn't the way to do it. Okay. So I have to run to him? Guess I'll try.
I'm sure I heard something. Who's there? Show yourself. Hey, what are you doing?
Okay, so that didn't work. Sherlock is afraid of water. If he falls in, he'll black out. He's not afraid of... Well, he did have a traumatic event with a waterfall, so I guess that would kind of make sense. Do I want it? Yeah, just ignore him. Wait. Which way? Yeah, I can go that way, can I? Just go upstairs instead. Because this was open. Okay, no one in here. Nice chair. Okay. reception, so that would be the way out.
Locked. I suppose the reception will be guarded anyway.
Very likely. Ooh, look, a map.
There's the guest room. I wonder if Watson was able to speak to Gygax.
Okay, let's look at this door.
Darn. No way I can get past him without being noticed.
Well, if the door opened outwards, you could just bludgeon it open and get out. Oh, there's something over there. Okay. Looks like an interesting drug. Gravity defying.
This sedative worked faster than I expected. Perhaps I ought to train myself. Build up a tolerance.
That would be advisable.
I'd rather not sit in this chair ever again.
Oh, bitch. But I do have a sedative now. So if I go down and get, say, a syringe and load the sedative into it, I can take out someone. Let's see. Wasn't that one? It was... Keyboard controls. I don't know how people can play games like this. I did not want to. Wait. Okay, back at this. Now, if I go back over here. Okay.
Very sturdy. I might borrow it.
Okay. So, Mind Palace. I got. Okay. Bottle of sedative, very fast, could be useful. Walk path upstairs, old photograph. Dumbwaiter. Hudson infiltrated, which would have been great if I'd known his plan, then I wouldn't have got myself arrested so quickly. Oh. I kind of see what they want me to do. Oh. How do I safely remove the guard from Block B? The metal tubes, syringes, and box of sedatives. Yeah. I need to go get this pipe scan. I do like my logic sometimes.
This should suffice.
Right then. That means I can go back and see how it suggested. Wait. Cans of compressed air. No, not let me do it. Well, that was okay. Blunk. No, that was easy.
This should be enough to avoid unwanted attention, at least from a distance.
Okay. Anything else in here I can use? What do we have over here? Ooh.
This is the same narcotic substance that we found in London.
Really?
Manufactured and packaged here.
Any more? Oh. Ah, what's this? Instructions. Scheissner, I hasten to assure you that your son is in good hands, and that his unexpected development of a psychological disorder can be remedied at our facility. I'm sure you are concerned as I'm sure as concerned about your son's well-being as I am, and I'm confident our combined efforts will lead to a speedy recovery. Our housing of pharmaceuticals in your warehouse is an important part of this process. If you succeed at drawing officials' attention away from this precious cargo, there will be nothing to stop me from returning your son to you. Safe, sound, and free of his unfortunate illness. Yours sincerely, Professor Gygax. Well, we're drugging people and blackmailing them all at the same time. Okay, anything else to look at? Do I go ahead and go into Block B? Guess so. Ooh, what's this side? What nutcases do I need to talk to in here? You open? No, you're not open. Okay, I can't go that way. Let's go this way. Nice tables.
Go away, or I will tear your lips from your skull with my fingernails.
Alrighty then.
I'll gouge your eyes out and cut off your hands, just like you did to Heidi.
I am quite certain you would, but I'm afraid you have me mistaken for someone else. So, I take it your name is Gerda. Who is Heidi?
You talk strange. You're going to Hell's Door, aren't you? To where
Yes.
those other funny talkers finally shut up?
Funny talkers?
Door. To what do you refer?
Only Heidi had answers. Go
Go,
away, pig.
Big.
I said go, or you will spend your last moments on Earth screaming.
Ooh.
This door won't stop me.
She seems nice.
They took you away, and I'll never forgive them.
Do not enter. As I said, do not enter. Who are you? No one? No one there? Okay. I hear grunting and growling. And it's not me. Okay. Okay. So back over this way. I'm going direct this way. Hello? Anyone home? No? Okay. Okay, let's figure out what's going on here. Crazy lady. Okay. Let's see, what's the letter? To look at this apparently. Missing servant has become an investigation into mass kidnapping. Dirty Summers. Yeah, wardrobes? Oh, cool. What do you? Ooh, disguise pieces. Nice. Can't be Sherlock Holmes without his infamous disguises. Okay. Yeah, it's supposed to be Sherlock Holmes the Awakened. I got hands of a demo of it. The game doesn't release until next week, apparently. Yeah. So this is Holmes. Yeah, it's supposed to be a cross of Sherlock Holmes and Lovecraft. So all sorts of fun stuff.
Why did they hurt you, Heidi? I wish I could hear your voice again.
Oh. I guess I'm supposed to go in here. Investigation scene found. Anything in here? Nope. Stuff to investigate. Okay. I should really fix those pipes. Laundry. Ooh. It's a nice warm bath. I'm gonna bet that's Heidi.
So you're Heidi.
Yep.
I didn't realize I was on Haunted Doll Watch. So you're Heidi. I didn't realize I was on Haunted Doll Watch.
Okay. Anything special about Heidi? No, they didn't tear her legs off. Okay.
Good lord, how unsettling. The damage seems intentional.
Yeah, it's interesting. The first person you see in it's Watson, and since I didn't see anything about the story, Watson apparently gets Holmes institutionalized.
Fabric burnt in the furnace.
Okay. What else am I looking for here? Nope.
A jalabia, a traditional garment from northern Africa.
have Heidi, so let's go talk to Gerda. Wait. What else is in here? Let's see. Oh, this is supposed to be a new one because this is a demo for it. Said the release wasn't until April 11th.
I will make them pay for what they did to Heidi.
I believe I have found your friend.
Heidi! Oh, poor girl. What did they do to you?
Shh. It's all right, Al. Everything will be all right.
Please, Gerda, now I have found Heidi, I need some help from you in return.
Shh, Heidi. We should thank the man, don't you think?
Tell me all you know about those funny-talking people.
We'd hear their screams. The guards would take them down the corridor behind you and they'd disappear. And the screams would stop.
Okay, do you know anything about the
Professor
doctor?
Gygax seems to rule this facility with an iron fist. Do you know anything about her?
She's sick. She did nasty things to us. Separated me and Heidi just for fun. Before she got here, this place was all right.
Okay, and why are you here, guy?
Did you end up in Block B?
The nurses say I'm prone to violent outbursts, but they're wrong. I just do what Heidi tells me.
That's reassuring. Just do what the doll tells you.
Have you ever met Professor Beckett?
I remember him. He was in charge here before that witch Gygax. But I haven't heard his voice for a long time. Too bad. He was nice.
Okay.
I shall leave you two to get reacquainted.
It's 43 of 50 things I need to find. Which means... what else is there? Okay, nothing else. No? Restricted area. Concentrate. When you see a green circle, press Q. Okay. So there's something I need to concentrate on.
So this is how they kept the prisoners docile and harmless.
Imagine that. Drugging people keeps them harmless. Okay. Let's see. Young adult male, nationality Dutch. Diagnosis: a weak-minded subject eager to follow orders or perceived rewards. Strong build, dosed with 0.4 milligram. That is not a high dosage. It's less than half a milligram. Male, adult, Romanian. A diagnosis: the subject remained violent, requiring the need for traditional sedatives. Once calm, the dosage for the subject was a minimal 0.2 milligrams. How strong is this drug? I mean, I made a blowgun out of it. And, yeah. That's a young adult male. Inu? Don't know where that is. Language incomprehensible. Subject is assumed mad because you don't understand him. Subject possesses a lighter, more agile frame, and a much smaller dosage was required. Let's see. 7, young male adult. Maori. Okay, that one's going to have to use a lot more Language incomprehensible. Subject is thus assumed mad. The subject was large and required an above average dosage of 0.8. And no one has required 1 milligram of this yet. That is rather fascinating. Let's see, anyone in here? Okay. Oh, what's this? Oh, a green circle. Something is sticking out. Okay, wait. It's hinged.
An orthodox reliquary commonly found in Eastern Europe, now in a cell halfway up the Alps.
I wasn't done with that. It's got a hinge. How would we keep this?
An orthodox reliquary commonly found in Eastern Europe, now in a cell halfway up the Alps.
Okay. Anything else I need to look at? No. This game has an interesting lockpicking mechanic to it, too. Because the lockpicking, you're actually having to adjust the soft pin to line up everything. Ooh. Interesting.
This stretcher was disinfected frequently.
Clearly use bleach. It looks like it will be.
These are the same crates we found in London. I should take a closer look.
But have a good night. Oh, well. That's not a body bag. I don't know.
I doubt that one could survive such a journey with this little water. Dirt and sweat. They were locked in here for days, judging by the smell.
Let's see. What else is in here? It's a can opener. Oh, of course there's blood. Oh, what?
The kidnappers even provided airflow. How generous.
Let's see. What else is there about this box? don't know about the coin. There it is. The Nautilus.
This is the same design as the one from London. This trip was prolonged and perilous.
Oh, let's see. Okay. What is this? Okay. This is interesting. Working tone later. Yeah. Okay. There's something else over there.
The stamp on this crate confirms it came from America. That's quite a distance to travel.
Oh, New Orleans. Of course I have something to do with that area. Nothing else in the room of interest. Lock.
The doors can be opened for deliveries.
Okay.
The doors can be opened for deliveries.
Oh, wait, it's telling me I have to use my brain. Huh. Or not. Okay.
The doors can be opened for deliveries.
Which means something needs to be done. Ah.
A bottle this sturdy doesn't break by accident.
Scratches and broken nails. Yeah, we'll have seen that without the special.
Substantial blood loss. One poor soul found another way out.
Okay. Okay, he's adding things up. That would be what she was calling Hell's Gate. Imagination notes. Okay. Ah, 10. Okay. It's not giving me suggestions, though. This. The hell? Okay, so. Okay, I kind of get what it wants me to do. So. Someone put themselves in a coffin. Got hauled out. Okay. So. Let's go to the other spot. So we're walking through the steps here. Okay. So they bring people in here. Lock them in crates. So they bring them in here, drugged. Walk them over here. For shipping. Oh. Then load them into the things. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay. What am I missing? Then drug them, bring them in here. Into the table. load them up. What am I missing? Hmm.
The garments of several dozen people at least.
Or checked inside here. So they bring them down here, strip them, bathe them. Take them down here. Ah. Okay. What else am I missing? Oh. Okay. Now it's got everything. Anything here? Stood out. Okay, nothing here stands out. So, comes in here. Ooh. Okay, they got up. Okay, so they were actually brought in. Ah, that makes a little bit more sense. Okay. Alright. Interesting. So they're either bringing people in or taking people out. They're not coming out on foot. That means that one would have to be the right one. Okay. Over here. This one is right. That leaves only this one is wrong. And there's only one right one on this one. It would have to be this one. Because okay.
Back through these doors, and they began to unload their cargo in secret. Next, the crates were opened, freeing their passengers. Not everyone survived the journey. Dirty, exhausted, and dehydrated prisoners were then herded into cells. But all the cells are now empty, and I have not located a morgue. Time to find Hell's Door.
All right then. Fascinating. So I need to find Hell's Door now. Wait, no, I don't need to go in here. I gotta take this one off. What's he wanting me to read laundry? This is interesting.
I was so scared I'd lost you, Heidi.
Okay. She says they took them down the corridor. That means this is the only way to go. Or is it? Where am I going to find a morgue? Oh, that's a slightly sinister laugh. Can't go this way. So where is Hell's Door? I would have thought Hell's Door would have been... What is this? Oh, this is where I came in. Hate the fact the door closed behind me. Where is Hell's door? It's not that way because I can't go that way. This is the only way I can go. This just goes past the laundry. It's just the laundry, right? The burning people is closing here. Nothing else to look at. Ooh. If that was a hot lie, they wouldn't have to worry about it. Can't go that way. Only goes to the delivery door. That's just cells. I don't see any other markings. Why does it want me to pin a clue? What is this? Okay, so simple case. Missing certs. What is this current question? Oh, the driver's going on. Hey, I'll get rid of that. Do I have any thought processes? No, I do not. Okay, what is this? Path blocked upstairs. Photograph. Can't do anything to close right now. Let's do this again. Okay, the foreigners must be taken to a hidden door after some preparation themselves. Passage must lie somewhere near the back entrance. Passage near the back entrance. Hello? Interesting. Loaded shut. Well then. Suppose I shall have to find some way to open that. Welded shut. So funny sounding people were brought back here. There's nothing else of interest in this area. Found the door that's welded shut. Now passageway is blocked. Let's see. Oh, well. No, it says I can investigate them, but it's not letting me get to them. Interesting. Can I do something here? This is a little unnerving. Well, I don't know, gang. I tucked in a hole in again.
I command you to let me out!
No, I don't want to. Is there anything in the storage room that would help me? I mean, come on. Storage room. There has to be something in here that... What is with the ladders everywhere? Nothing of specific interest. Anything in here that I need to focus on? There has to be something I'm missing.
can get past him without being noticed. Darn. No way I can get past him without being noticed.
I'm missing something. I've got to be. A secret passage somewhere new. I found it. It's just there's welded shut. You are still asleep. This was my cell. Wait. Near the rare entrance. I found where the passage was. I just... Wrong way. Just not seeing a way to get past a welded trapdoor. It's a welded trapdoor that's got stuff on top of it. What am I missing? Oh, that's what I'm missing.
Scratches. Something has been moved through here.
Ugh.
There seems to be a locking mechanism. The whole thing must be a door.
All right then. So I need something to put in that. Oh, now it lets me use my imagination. Lovely. Okay. So I need items. So, clearly I need things. Guess I need to go back to that variety of metal pipes. Or closer. Wrong way. Wouldn't let me find anything easy. I have to go back to the storage room. Make myself a key. Or not. It's not letting me use it. Oh, man. It says I don't have any items. Do I just have inventory? Inventory is apparently my custom closet. There's an indent of the wall. It's definitely a keyhole, yet lockpicks have proven useless. So how do I get through it? There should be something in the area, you'd think. It's just a circle. What am I looking for? There's nothing giving me any indication at all. Maybe. No. Ouch. What am I not seeing here? Is that? What is not getting my attention that it should be? I am getting stumped here. There's nothing else reacting. What? That saw something there. Why is this corner such a mess? Why is this wall broken? See nothing. Why are you not on? Why are a lot of these not on? Is there just something I'm missing here somehow? Can't walk this door. Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm missing here. I can't go through the locked doors because there's guards. I'll leave up top because there's guards. It shows me there's a passage I'm supposed to go to, but I'm not seeing any way to open it. nothing else. It's giving me any clues on where the hole is. There's that. Is that that's welded shut? It's not letting me get any more pipes. It's not letting me open the door, even though it all opens inward. I don't know. Oh, that's a very good costume. Oh well. Nope. I am stop motion at the moment. But anyway, that is the Sherlock Holmes game. Sherlock Holmes The Awakened, which is, clearly part Lovecraftian horror. So let us see who is on that. Let me close out the game. Save where I am. Yeah, new save. Okay. And may try that again some other time. But for now, let's see who is on that we can raid, shall we? And of course, my browser is frozen. Because, of course, it is. Yep, I love when my browser freezes. Okay, all the people that were on that I originally planned on raiding are already off. Come on, list. Who is on that I know needs a good raid? Let's see, someone's on. Yeah, let's. Reeve. So I do have my raid commands. Got one for followers. Helps if I can type. Helps if I'm in the screen. F. Raid. S. And we are raiding Reeve. So, I hope you all enjoyed the final story from the book tonight, and I hope you enjoyed the preview of the game. And I hope you all have a good night, good evening, whichever time zone you may be in. So, let's go raid Reeve and see how he's doing. So, have a good night, everyone.